Today, let's have a conversation about stress. So, this is quite a personal one for me. I sometimes struggle with anxiety. I've got one of those brains that just processes everything. I'm always thinking of the future. I'm always worrying about the what ifs. I'm always concerned I'm either going to screw something up, or that I'm going to forget something, or I'm dreading a particular situation, or I'm dreading a particular part of a project. And it just creates so much stress in my life. It creates this horrible feeling of anxiety, of fear, of worry. Sometimes you kind of feel like giving up. Sometimes you feel like avoiding people or avoiding situations. Stress, anxiety, worry, they're all real feelings. They're all feelings that we all feel as designers. We all feel these as agency owners, and it's perfectly natural. But we look on the internet and we see these really super successful people, and they seem to have it all nailed. And I imagine if you look at the WP Innovator podcast, for example, and look at the pictures of me looking all happy and the cool stuff that always gets posted in the Facebook group, people might think that I'm actually in this happy place all the time where I never get stressed and everything's going swimmingly and Lee must have it all sorted. And yet, no, it's not true. I'm human and things really stress me out. Things really get on top of me. And I was speaking with my wife about it because she's the same as me. She gets stressed about the things that are going on in her life with her work, etc. And she said to me, "How do you never seem stressed?" And I was quite surprised by that, because I feel it a lot. And one of the things that I just wanted to share with you that I found really, really helpful is just a way of kind of managing those big, heavy burdens, especially things that are gonna happen or that are happening in the future. How I manage those in such a way, at least in my brain, to reduce or kind of remove any negative energy that they might have in my life right now. So if I've got an upcoming conference call that's going to be in, say, 2 days time, and there is nothing I need to do necessarily to prepare for it, many times in the past I will have that conference call playing on my mind for the whole 2 days. I'll be very stressed about it, I'll be irritable, etc. And again, there's those feelings of anxiety, there's the lack of sleep. So what I've been doing over the last few years is really just trying to compartmentalize these things. And I think to myself, okay, 2 days time is a conference call that I'm worried about or that I'm dreading, because maybe there's someone on that conference call I don't like, or maybe there is a awkward subject that we have to broach because of an issue with the contract. So what I'll then do is make a decision. I'll say, this is the call. It's going to happen in 2 days time. That is 2 days from now, of which I can affect nothing by thinking about it today or tomorrow. The only time I need to think about that conference call is moments before it begins. So by kind of talking to myself through this and explaining to myself that by worrying or by thinking about it, or even by imagining what will happen on that conference call, will serve me absolutely no purpose. And I remind myself as well that by going through these imaginary conference calls up to 2 days before it's even happened, I'm actually putting myself through the real stress of that call as if it was happening. And my imagination is 100% times way worse than the actual conference call when it happens. And I kid you not, every single conference call or every single meeting or every single build, anything that I've done that I have built up in my head and freaked out about has never been what I thought it was. It's always been brilliant. It's always been fine. I've always come off the call energized, or I've always finished the project on time, and it's been amazing. And yet in my mind, I've built up maybe 2-3 days, maybe several weeks worth of anxiety and imagination about these terrible things that are probably or possibly going to happen. So this is an ongoing process. I do not have this nailed. It's something I still struggle with. I struggled with even last week. And I have to give myself this pep talk, this conversation, and remind myself that it hasn't happened yet, and anything in my imagination probably won't happen. And the only time I need to worry about whatever that thing is on the day that I can actually do something about it. And you can apply this maybe even in life. If you've got some bills that are going to be due in a month's time, and obviously you can work on getting money in, etc. But you need to physically pay that bill in a month's time. It's totally pointless freaking out about it, and this totally easier said than done. I know it, but you know, it's just the way I've managed to compartmentalize and kind of give myself a break from these heavy emotions that do rest on me, especially in business. I always thought that I would be a hell of a lot happier if I owned my own business. And trust me, I am. I'm doing the job I love. It's not even a job, it's a hobby. But that doesn't escape the fact that, you know, many of us have some form of mental health issue. It's difficult to talk about, it's kind of embarrassing, but many of us do struggle with this inexplicable anxiety, stress over the silliest of things, or if they feel the silliest of things, but they can really have a massive effect. So I hope that is helpful. That's just one little exercise that I put myself through to try and minimize the amount of stress I'm putting myself through, reminding myself that all of the worry I have created is fiction, and I should just enjoy the actual experience when it happens. So when that conference call happens, I guarantee you, if I've given myself 2 days worth of terrible fiction, the conference call is always absolutely fine, and I come off it energized and feel like a complete idiot for literally screwing with my brain for those 2 days. All right, that's me being raw. If you want to talk about this, feel free to hit us up in the comments below. If you would prefer it to be a bit more private, head on over to the Facebook group on wpinnovator.com/group. We have an amazing podcast on wpinnovator.com/podcast. Don't forget, give this a thumbs up. That's the video. If you feel like giving it a thumbs down, that might make me sad. And if you want more content like this, including web design life, web agency life, anything, all of those sorts of things, including WordPress, then hit that subscribe button. We're still in Vader. That means there's a few more days of August where we're vlogging every single day. So please expect a video tomorrow.